Alright, so boss's order. Get that Snorlax out. Do the 120, and that's game. We did it. Throw that 30 damage. I don't care where it goes. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Top Tier TCG, where we talk about different decks and how to use them. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the Hop Zacian EX deck that recently came out in a City League. It's a pretty interesting deck. After trying to get used to it, I ended up playing 10 matches to see how it would do, and I went 7 wins and 3 losses, which is not too bad. But this deck took a little bit to get used to. But if you're a Hop Zacian fan and you want a metal type deck, maybe this deck will work out for you. So we're just going to go through the card list and everything we got, and we're going to try out a match or two and see how it goes. This deck is kind of interesting in the way that it's built around not using any metal type energies. It uses 1 Jet Energy and 5 Darkness Energy, because the point of it is to use Hop Zacian's EX first attack mixed with Hop's Choice Band over here. This guy, which allows you to attack with 1 energy less, which makes his attack 0, and it makes Cramorant's attack 0, and it makes Snorlax attacks only 2 energies. And then you use the dark energies to attach to your Munkidoris and transfer damage from your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon, getting those knockouts a little easier. But we're just going to go through all the Pokemon that are in here real quick, and we'll explain what they kind of do here. So the first Pokemon we have is Hop Zacian EX, and we carry 2 of these, and it has 2 attacks, but you're not going to use the second one, Brave Slash, for 240, unfortunately, because you do not have the metal energies. But you can use Insta Strike, which does 30 damage, and this attack also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Now, the cool thing about this is if you mix it with your Snorlax on the bench, which I'll explain, and the Hop's Choice Band and the Stadium that's also for Hop's Pokemon, he can deal 120 damage for 0 energy, which is kind of the point of the deck. Do that big damage up front and do that spread damage at the same time to your opponent's other Pokemon, which comes in really helpful. And if they don't knock out your Pokemon, you use that Munkidori to come out and just finish them off slowly. So this is kind of like a spread / turbo deck, I guess, in a way. So that's why I think it's a little weird to deal with. But once you get used to it, it's a pretty fun deck. So you're going to have 2 of those in there, and it's only 230 HP. The next Pokemon we have is Snorlax, and we carry 2 of those as well, and we mainly use them for its ability Extra Helpings. Attacks used by your Hop's Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying Weakness Resistance. This effect of Extra Helpings does not stack, so you can't have multiple Snorlaxes and do extra damage. Only one of them has the effect. And as the attack Dynamic Press for 140, and it costs 3 energy, this Pokemon does 80 damage to itself. You don't really want to use it, but if you have all the same conditions as you did for your Zacian, it should be able to do about, so let's see, the Choice Band makes it 170, and then another Snorlax on the field makes it 210, and then with the Stadium card, it makes it 240. So you're dealing 240 damage for 2 energy, which is really good, and he's only a 1 prizer. So we're going to carry 2 of those in there just to make sure we can at least have 1 on the bench at all times, and it's a really good backup if it's your last resort. And you can use the Dark Energy on him, which is really nice. And then you have the staples. So we have Fezandipiti EX, which you can use for the ability Flip the Script to draw 3 cards if your opponent knocked out one of your Pokemon last turn. You're not going to use it for its attack in any way. And then you have Latias EX, because this deck is all basic Pokemon, and the ability Skyliner makes it to where your basic Pokemon in play have no retreat costs. So it's a really great way to rotate your Zacians or your Cramorants and your Snorlaxes around just to make sure it doesn't get knocked out too soon. And then you have the Munkidori. So you have 2 of those in here, and you're using it for the ability Adrena Brain. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has Dark Energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon. And that includes bench Pokemon. So it's a really great way just to spread the damage around and get those numbers that you want, especially because Hop Zacian does 30 damage to someone's benched Pokemon. Adding that extra 30 in there can make it all worthwhile for you. And you carry 2 of those Munkidoris in your deck. And then we have 1 Iron Bundle. Again, not for its attack, but for its ability Hyper Blower. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch it out, your opponent's active Pokemon, if you discard this Pokemon. So it's basically a boss's order. Doesn't take a prize card if you do the ability. Worth throwing in there, that way if you weaken one of your opponent's Pokemon that's on the bench, you can bring it out and use Hop Zacian to finish it off. And then we have an interesting choice here. We have Maractus with the ability Exploding Needles, and I think this is mostly in here to counter the Badoo if it happens to be in play. If this Pokemon is on the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack, your opponent's active Pokemon, put 6 damage counters on that attacking Pokemon. Okay, so not for the Badoo, but for other Pokemon. If you have this up front and your opponent knocks this out pretty easily, at least you do those extra damage counters to it, and maybe you can finish him off with the Zacian. And it has the attack corner for 20 damage during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't retreat, which is really nice because then you have a chance to build up your Pokemon if you stick something useless for them, like their Munkidori or their Fezandipiti up front. And you're only going to carry one of those in there. And then we have your like last resort Pokemon, Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, for its ability Season Skill. Bloodmoon is used by this Pokemon, costs 1 energy less for each prize card your opponent has taken. So by towards the end of the game, if there's only 1 prize card left from your opponent, you can use this as a free attack. Otherwise, attach 2 or 3 energies to it to do the 240 damage, which is a really good way to clean up the game, especially if it's a mirror and you see they have the Zacian. You can use it to knock it out and get your win. And then we have 2 Hops Cramorant, which is pretty interesting, for the attack Fickle Spitting, which does 120 damage, and I think it does 210 with all the modifiers. But you can only use this attack when there's 3 or 4 prize cards remaining for your opponent, or else you can't attack at all. This is really good mid-game, obviously, and if your opponent knocks it out, it doesn't really matter because it's only 1 prize card, making the prize trade more favorable for you. And we only have 2 of those. So that's the Pokemon portion. So now we're going to move over to the trainers here. And you have about 41 trainers here, so we're going to go through all these real quick. Starting off with Counter Catcher. We only play 1 of them. You can use this card only if you have more prize cards remaining in your opponent. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with the active Pokemon. So now you can kind of gust something out that you need after using Hop Zacian's attack and finish those knockouts if they're in the lead, especially if they're 1 prize ahead from using your single prizers. We only have 1 of those in there because hopefully you get back in the lead after using it. We carry 4 Hops Choice Bands. Attacks used by Hops Pokemon this card is attached to cost 1 energy less and do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's a Choice Band, but for Hops Pokemon only, and we carry 4 of those in there. That way we can hit it as soon as possible because we can't really attack because all those dark energies are going to the Munkidori. Carry 4. And then we have 2 Hops Bags here. Search your deck for 2 basic Hops Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Mainly getting your Hops Zacian and your Snorlax out of the way, or maybe you want to do 2 Zacians if you don't need the Hops Snorlax, but really good way to get those. We got 2. Then we use Kieran. So this one has 2 different things you can do. You can switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, or during this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. So you don't really want to use that first one because you have that Latias in play anyways, but that extra 30 damage can knock out pretty much anything in your path if you set it up right. So this is just a way for you to get that extra damage maybe towards the end. And we only carry 1 of those in there. And then we have 1 Energy Switch. Move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. I like combinations of this mixed with the Munkidori, so you can use Munkidori's ability and then move that dark energy over to your Snorlax to attack if that's what you want to do, or to your Hops Zacian. That way you're able to utilize all your Pokemon, but you only have 1 of those, so use it at the right time. And then we have 1 Prime Catcher. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. If you do, switch your active Pokemon to the bench Pokemon. Sorry, I butchered that, but you can kind of bring out any Pokemon you want, put any Pokemon you want in. Doesn't really matter what you do because you have that Latias in place, so you can switch out anyways. So this is just a free boss's order for you. And then we have Morty's Conviction. You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Draw a card for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Hopefully your opponent has a full bench and you can draw at least 5 cards, or maybe they're playing Area 0 Underdepths and they have like 8 bench Pokemon. So now you're pulling out all those extra cards, which is really nice. But we only carry 1 of those. And then we have 4 Pokégear 3.0, so we can make sure we hit the supporters we want. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a supporter card you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle each other cards back into the deck. Again, we play 4, so we can just hit the supporters we need. Maybe it is the Kieran, or maybe it is the Morty's Conviction, or maybe the Arven that I'll talk about later. But we carry 4 of those in there for consistency. And then we have 3 Night Stretchers. Put a Pokemon or basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. So chances are that your opponent's going to try to knock out your Munkidoris because they're going to see it as a threat, and you're going to lose an energy or the Munkidori. So getting that Night Stretcher back in to get your energies back in your hand, put the Munkidori back on the bench, just applying pressure to your opponent. And we want to do that as much as we can, so we have 3 of those in there. And then we have 4 Nest Balls. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench. And all your Pokemon are basic, so this is perfect for you. And mixed with the Hops bag, we're kind of getting all the Pokemon we want out. And again, we carry 4 of those just so we can do that as soon as possible. And then we have Calamitous Snowy Mountain as a stadium choice. And we have one other stadium afterwards, but whenever any player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their basic non-water Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. This is a really good way to get your Munkidori started, especially because none of your Pokemon are water type in this deck except for the Iron Bundle, but we don't use him. You can attach that Dark Energy to your Munkidori, puts the damage counters on himself, then move that damage over before you even attack. Really good way to kind of get those numbers, and we have 2 of those in there. That way, I think we carry a lot of stadiums in here so your opponent doesn't use Jamming Tower on you as much, is what my reasoning is for it. Because once Jamming Tower hits, you're kind of useless unless you put an energy on your Pokemon. And the whole point is to attack with Zacian without using any energy on them. So we have 2 of those in there. And then we have 4 Arvens. Search your deck for an item card and a Pokemon tool card, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is basically just to get the Hops Choice Band out as soon as possible because you're going to need that to attack. And any other item card that you need. And then we carry 3 Boss's Orders. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to this active spot. Again, this deck is based off of spreading the damage and then finishing it off. So Boss's Order becomes really useful when you see your opponent's bench Pokemon really close to getting the knockout. And you're like, hey, I can knock 2 things out right now. Use that Boss's Order to get them out. And we have those Pokégears in there for you to use as well. And carry 3 of those. And then we have 1 Iono. Each player shuffles their hand and puts them at the bottom of the deck. If either player puts any cards at the bottom of their deck in this way, each player draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. Really good towards the end of the game. Makes it in your favor when they can't figure out how to move their Pokemon around or heal themselves or whatever they got to do. You carry 1 of those in there. At this point, every deck has at least 1 Iono. And then we have Technical Machine Devolution. Again, because we're spreading damage, if you're playing like a Stage 2 or Stage 1 deck, maybe you put enough damage to where if you use the Devolution card, devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. It'll knock them out. So like Pidgeys to rare candies, use the Zacian and then use the Techno Machine Devolution tool card, and then you devolve it and now it's knocked out. And we only carry 1 of those in there because it's kind of situational, so you don't want to swamp your deck with that useless amount of cards in there. And then we have Postwick, the second stadium I was talking about, and we carry 3. Attacks used by Hops Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, do 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. So again, use this to complete those modifiers. If they have a Jamming Tower, try to get this back on there as soon as possible. So we carry 3 on there just to make sure you're in control of your stadium usage. And we have 3. And then we have 3 Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. This is the most I've seen in a deck in a long time. But we kind of want to make sure we have all the cards we need, especially if you're going second and you don't got what you want, but you have a Professor's Research. Use that bad boy and get those 7 cards out just to set up your hand as soon as possible. And then lastly, we have the Earthen Vessel. We only carry 2. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. This is just to get the dark energies out because we only have 5 of those. Got to get them out of the way and put them on the Munkidoris. But yeah, that's all the trainers here. And I already talked about the energy. So let's go test out this deck and let me show you how it plays. We'll see if we win our match here. Thank you guys for watching the videos. If you like this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have you played this deck yet? Do you like Zacian? Do you hate Zacian? Let me know in the comments below, or how would you upgrade this one? Oh, you also kind of want to go second. What I've noticed, I win more when I go second with this deck. So we'll see what's going to happen here, and hopefully it showcases really well. It was really confusing for me at first because I kept messing up where to put my choice band or where to attach my energy, but I think I got it a little down now. So we'll see how this game goes. Not a great start, but I'm going to put the Fezandipiti up front, and I'm going to put my Munkidori down. We do have the choice band, so maybe we can Pokégear for the Arven. And then Nest Ball. Get the Zacian and use Prime Catcher the next turn to knock out whatever. Hopefully. We're going to have to knock out the Buffalo more than anything. Okay, so let's hope we hit the Arven. We did not hit the Arven. How unfortunate. This is hard because I don't want to lose any of these cards. But I think I'm going to have to Prime Catcher, and then if I don't get anything, or get rid of my Prime Catcher. Okay, not great at all. We're going to do this here. We're going to put the Cramorant in just to throw him off with the Choice Band, and the next turn I'm going to attach the Dark Energy to Munkidori while using the Calamitous Snowy Mountain as a way to move damage over. Oh. Okay. So he's going to use the Crispin. Hopefully he fills up his bench and the Calamitous Snowy Mountain kind of like screws him over. Let's see what he does. Noctowl. Maybe use Nest Balls and Buddy Buddy Poffins. Yep. Fill up that bench, my friend. He's going to probably get rid of his Fan Rotums and the Noctowl, though. There's that second Buffalant. Okay, Unified Beatdown. Cool, we hit the Zacian. We're gonna put a Calamitous Snowy Mountain in there. Who's he gonna get rid of? Okay. And then we're gonna attach an energy. Damage ourselves. And I'm debating on who we should bring out here. Well, we're gonna put Hop Snorlax for sure. And then I'm gonna for sure put on the... I'm like, oh, we're gonna do Iron Bundle. Or do we want Iron Bundle? Yeah, let's do Iron Bundle. And we're gonna Hyper Blower him. Because I want to knock out the Buffalance first. For me, personally. So we're gonna... Adrena Brain. And the Fezandipiti, and we're gonna throw it onto the Buffalance here. And then... guess we'll Hop's Bag, get something out of there. We'll get the other... Zacian, and hopefully he does not knock out our Fezandipiti. I'm gonna get these energies out of the way just to thin out my deck. Okay. We'll see what our opponent does here. Okay. Get rid of Area 0 Underdeaths. Ionos, perfect. Get us a better hand here. Hopefully he doesn't draw a single energy. Okay. Latias EX, so he's gonna knock out our Fezandipiti. So I'm going to put my Hop's Cramorant and knock out one of his Buffalants here. Do this. We're going to take away the Devolution. Get those two Darkness Energies, and we're going to put him on Snorlax. That way we can make sure we can knock out his, whatchamacallit later. His Terapagos. How much damage can I do here? Only 120. It's perfect. So we're going to move this over to his Terapagos with the energy on there. And I feel like Terapagos is going to use his secondary attack, which is not that great. Then we're going to... I think we're going to Nest Ball another Munkidori here. Oh, we don't have... Oh, we do. We have another Munkidori. and Nest Ball him, and next turn we'll probably attach an energy. So we're gonna get the knockout real quick. Boom. Take a prize card. Got the Latias. We'll see what he does. What is that? What's the tool here? The Bravery Charm. He has the Munkidori, Crispin. Pumping up his other Terapagos. He's gonna Adrena Brain. Who's he even gonna add damage to? Okay. Even if I beat down 240. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put the Snorlax. I'm definitely putting the Latios there. Touch energy. I'm gonna use the branch, the Sycamore, and we got the Choice Band there. So hopefully this helps get the only 140. Is both Buffalons there? Yeah, both Buffalons are there. So I'm gonna do that 140 damage. This one's gonna be a hard one to beat, I feel like. Okay, our next option here is gonna be maybe if I beat down, it's gonna knock us out. And I think this part right here is gonna be my one shot to not mess this up. We're gonna throw another Snorlax in here. No, Rescue Stretcher. And we'll probably do Fezandipiti just to get whatever we need out. I am going to attach that to Munkidori, and we're gonna Iono, because I'm hoping we can hit the Postwick. If we hit Postwick, hopefully he gets rid of one of his Buffalants on accident. Who's he gonna put? Who's he gonna put? He's taking his sweet time. Hopefully he makes a mistake here. Okay. And then we're going to flip the script. Counter catcher him. And I think we're gonna go with the getting rid of the Munkidori here. It's only gonna do 90, but that's okay. Going for the damage spread. Oh, that's right. Terapagos is immune to that. Big bummer. Okay. He's only going to do 180 to us. Let's see what he does. Alright. I think the hope here is that I pull another Choice Band. Do I have enough? So we're going to try to knock it out. 90. And then I am going to do another 90 or another 30 here. Knock out his Munkidori. Maybe we'll pull a choice band off of this. If so, I'm gonna retreat my nope, no choice band. Trying to think of what we can do here. Well, I do have an energy. Ooh, okay. Okay, this might or might not work, but we're gonna try it out. We're gonna do this here. We're gonna put a dark energy. And we're gonna attach it to this Zacian. We're gonna retreat. No, it's not gonna do much, but we're gonna retreat. And then we're gonna boss's order his Fezandipiti. So we'll see, it's only gonna do 60 damage. Okay. Oh wow, that does 0 damage to him. Oh, because of the Buffalant ability. Dang, even to your bench Pokemon? He's gonna flip the script because we knocked something out. Hopefully he doesn't have an energy to put. He has Nest Ball. He's gonna put the Latias. If he has 2 of those in there. Well, that's nuts. It's gonna be a lot harder than we expected here. Okay. Do this. I don't expect this to go well, but we'll do our best here. Come on. See what else we got. We got another boss's order, so I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna boss's order again. And hopefully he does not pull the energy he needs from this. I'm gonna do another 90. And it doesn't matter who we hit, so we're doesn't do anything. But hopefully he doesn't pull an energy. Got the knocked out, so he's gonna do the Night Stretcher to grab the energy, retreat, and knock out my Zacian in this game. More boss's order. Okay. Okay, there's a Hoot. Another Nest Ball. He has an energy in his hand. Yeah. Crazy. Okay, well, it's safe to say it doesn't work against Terapagos. That's just too much defense he has. I guess if you play against the Terapagos, try to knock out their Buffalants as soon as possible, because then you're not going to be able to spread damage anywhere. So he won that one, justifyingly so. And we'll do one more, just to see if we're going to hit another Terapagos. If we can beat him, let's beat him. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. And if you're going to stop watching, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, comment on it. But if you're still here, let's get this other match in and see if we can win it. Okay. Let's see what we play against. Your opponent won the coin flip, deciding who goes first. Looking back at that Terapagos lineup, he got his Buffalants out really quick, which was not good for us. Okay, this is a horrible start as well. How did this win a City League? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not playing it right. Oh, okay, we're going to do mirrors. Watch him hit everything he needs to hit. That's going to be so annoying. We got nothing here. We're going to need an Arven as soon as possible. Oh boy, he's probably going to donk us. Because if we don't get... Yeah, he might win this just out of nowhere. Whew. If he gets the Snorlax and the Choice Band and the Postwick, he won. Come on, buddy. Maybe he doesn't have it. If so, we're in luck. Okay, second Zacian. It's gonna get that Snorlax out. Oh, and the Hops Wooloo. Because it's a full-on Hops deck. No Choice Band. He's got Arven. So he's gonna do 90. If he has a stadium, it's over. He's probably gonna use Squawkabilly. No, Duraludon. Okay. I guess that's the other version of this deck that you could use if you want. That's up to you. Okay. Okay. Alright, perfect. We're going to do this. We're going to get that Munkidori in there so he can do that damage. Whatchamacallit. Later on. Okay, we got the Hops bag. And we're going to need the Hops Choice Band. Do this. Snorlax and the Zacian. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to throw this on the Zacian. And we're going to attach that energy only because we cannot afford to lose here. Retreat. Get this bad boy in. And then we're going to put the Calamitous Snowy Mountain in case he attaches more energies here. And let's see what we get with the Pokégear. That's a hard one. Which one should we get? Boss's Orders or Professor's Research? Let's do Boss's Orders, just in case. Because we have the Iono, so if he knocks out the Zacian, at least we'll get an energy, put it on the Cramorant, knock out whatever he has. So we're going to start off with this. And then just so we can get rid of that Archulodon in the future. Does he have any energies in the discard? He has 0 energies in the discard, so if he evolves, it won't work the ability. Hopefully he attaches one more energy. Oh, who's it going to pick up? Oh! Big bummer. He's putting the Choice Band on him. We got rid of one of them. Okay. We're going to knock out the Cramorant, of course. Now what I'm going to do now is... put the hype... No, we're going to get rid of the Iron Bundle here. 2 Dark Energies. I'm going to attach it to my Munkidori. Because I don't want him to be able to get the Archulodon out. We're going to boss his order. So he has 100 damage, and I only do 90. We're going to move it over to the Duraludon. And hopefully we can make this mirrors work for us here. And we're going to Insta-Strike, and I'm going to throw it onto his Zacian here. I want to knock that bad boy out as soon as possible. Okay, even playing field. Postwick. I don't even know if I want to use it. Maybe if I attach the energy to Snorlax and then get the Choice Band, Iono, and Energy Switch, we can knock out his Zacian. Maybe. Fezandipiti. Duraludon. Earthen Vessel. Oh, throwing Postwick. So he's going to do 120, so it's going to give me 180. That's a rough one. It's a strike. He's going to throw 30 damage onto the Munkidori, I feel like. Yep. Okay. Okay. We got one shot at this, guys. We're gonna Snorlax, and I am going to grab the Cramorant just in case. Here, and we're gonna Iono. Okay. And I don't even know if we need the Maractus. We don't need the Maractus. So we're gonna do this here. Take out those two energies. Then hopefully next turn, if he knocks us out, we can at least knock out his we can either knock out the Zacian or the Duraludon or whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. 120, it's a strike. So he has how much left? 80. So we're going to go down to 3 prize cards here. And I think he's going to move energy towards the Munkidori. I'm going to hesitate from putting another Zacian in just because I want to make sure the Snorlax and the Cramorant are able to attack. Who's he going to pick up? Oh my god. Denies us the win there. But he's going to knock out our Zacian. Here's our Ursaruna. Yep. So that bad boy's going to have 240. Wow. So what I think I'm going to do here is we're going to move damage over. That'll take him down to 210, which will be enough for a knockout. So here's what we're going to do now. Oh. So let's attach the energy to the hops. Snorlax, move this. Take off our energy here. Boom. 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 And you know what I'm going to do? We're going to Choice Band, Hops Bag. And we have the other Arven too. So I'm going to Hop Snorlax because I don't want to take out the Cramorant. We're going to Counter Catcher. Oh no. Oh no, okay, so I'm gonna have to use the Prime Catcher. That was a waste of a Counter Catcher. Okay, we can use Prime Catcher to knock out the Ursaluna. Dynamic Press. Knockout. And what I'm hoping what we can do here is I'm gonna grab Arven and I'm gonna use the Energy Switch to get the other Snorlax. This one's gonna be rough. How many choice bands is that? have we used? That's 1, 2 trainers. That's 1. Oh, we want to use 2 choice bands. So this is the 3rd one. Then we have 1 more after that. We might be able to make this work. Might is the key word here. He has a Duraludon again. This could work. This could work. Obviously, Insta Strike. Boom. Okay. I think we can make this work. We're going to throw that. We are going to attach that energy. And we can use Arven. And we're going to Energy Switch. And Hop's Choice Band. Okay. And we are going to... How much damage would we do here? We would do 230 already. So we can knock him out. So what I'm going to do... And this might be my downfall here. If it doesn't work, we're screwed. I am going to move my damage from Munkidori. And I am going to throw it over to... Who do I want to throw it to? I'm going to have to throw it to Snorlax. Because I feel like he's going to try to attack with Snorlax. Boom, and then we're going to do Energy Switch. Boom. And here's what I'm hoping for. Here's what I'm really hoping for right now. We're gonna do the dynamic press, knock him out, and hopefully he puts in the Snorlax or the Duraludon. Or maybe we'll get a boss's orders. If we get a boss's orders, it's fine, we win. Yes! Oh boy, this is scary. This one's rough, because how much damage does, only 220. Only 220 damage. But if he has a boss's order, it's also over for us. That was a rough call. That was a really rough call. I'm praying he just puts the energy on his Archilodon, not on the Snorlax. Yes! Yes, big mistake, big mistake. He just made a huge mistake there. Flip the script. Hobbs double. He's going to throw the Munkidori, which is totally fine. I do not mind. Metal Defender. We got the game. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so boss's order. Get that Snorlax out. Do the 120, and that's game. We did it. Throw that 30 damage. I don't care where it goes. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. That was close. Jeez, that was close. That's it. Sweet. We won the second one. Terapagos is really hard, but I guess it does pretty decent against the Archilodon Zacian build. He made a mistake, though. If he put it on Snorlax and bosses ordered me, it would have been game over. But he misplayed there. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. Leave a comment if you had some criticism towards me. That's totally fine. But are you going to try this new Zacian deck? If so, let me know. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I'll catch you in the next video, okay?